one of the things that we love to do as martial artists is we love to look at what other martial artists are doing and go, well, that'll never work. That's just a McDojo. And I think probably everyone has done this at some point. I have the good sense not to do it online. I keep that opinion to myself, but I got to admit, I look at what other people are doing sometimes and go, yeah, McDojo. And then I have people call me a McDojo, call me a fraud, call me a huckster, whatever, and I'm thinking, how can that be? Because I know my stuff is great. I do recognize that within the world of martial arts, there are bad martial arts and bad martial artists, and there's martial arts schools that teach stuff that's just not very good. And then there's schools that teach stuff that's good in some ways, but not very good in other ways. And so, it becomes this mixed bag. And what I want to do right now is I want to defend the idea of the McDojo, the idea of the people who are doing the weird stuff that would never work for real. And I want to do that for a couple reasons. First, I may look at somebody going to the school down the street and learning a style that looks to me like they've got bad body mechanics and no understanding of what they're doing. But hey, they're doing something, right? I mean, isn't that better than doing nothing? And they may be getting an experience, what my son likes to call the karate experience. It's a little bit like going to Epcot Center. If you go to Epcot Center and go to the French part of Epcot Center, that you can buy crepes and eat them, and people like to walk around dressed in French-style clothing, whatever that means. But it's not as good as going to France. But, you get the French experience. It's a little something. It's nice, right? There's a value there. So someone goes and they train, they get the karate experience, they feel good, they feel like they accomplished something. They're exercising, they're socializing, and then if they do get in a fight, their technique might not work very good, but they're doing something, they're not freezing. They may be trying techniques that don't work well, but they're at least fighting back. And so that's not a bad thing. But in my world, because my teacher liked to push the boundaries of what we would consider possible and work on techniques that, things like toate no waza, which is to strike without touching. I don't know, everyone thinks it was like my teacher was the only guy doing this. This is very traditional. I first read about it in a book written in the 50s called The Fighting Spirit of Japan. So this is an old thing. It's been around a long time, the use of no-touch technique. But it's boundary pushing. But isn't that a good thing? Maybe we could only do it in the dojo or only do it with a cooperative partner, or it'll only work on some people and not on others, whatever. But how do I know what's possible unless I push the boundaries of possibility? Unless there's somebody willing to explore the edges. The map only goes as far as someone has been willing to go. And they may go that far and find out that the world ends and they fall off the edge of the world, or they may discover the world is round and there's more on the other side. But nobody knows until they make the journey. And so I think that I want to, even when I look at some weird stuff people are doing or some things where I think, that'll never work, or wow, that's awfully esoteric. But you know what? More power to them. Because they may be exploring a territory, a frontier that later on the rest of us will follow into and find a whole new world. Or maybe it will be a dead end. But at least we know in that case that we can mark on our old maps, there be monsters here. I'm Chris Thomas, and these are some reflections from the master class. Thanks for watching, and now go train.